So a therapist told one of our viewers that their mental health problems were all in their head. Yeah, it's a mental health struggle. Of course it's all in the... Where's your degree from? Mended Light. Welcome to Crap Therapists Say, where we ask our viewers to tell us bad advice that they got from a therapist. Look, we love therapists. I'm a therapist. We have therapists working with us. But not all advice is created equal. So what is some terrible advice that you have received? Let us know in the comments below. Today we're going to talk about the therapist saying your mental health problems are all in your head. In other words, just move on. They're not real. Let them go.
It's not real. It's not real. Well, it looks pretty real to me.
I have a hard time imagining how someone who's supposedly trained to be empathetic and compassionate, as well as someone who has an understanding of mental health, could ever say something like this. And yet here we are. I mean, the fact is, they are right? It is in your head because it's a mental health struggle, but they're so off in their approach.
No, that's not how you do it.
Because what they're really saying is, I don't relate to what you're going through, so it's not real. Right? It's a lack of understanding. And we see this a lot with people, with their family members, especially from the older generation. They don't believe that mental health problems are genuine or real. Now, I could see a therapist saying this trying to be helpful. I've said a variation of this, which is, this is a prison in your mind, and it has no doors, and you can learn to step through it. But there's a difference between you can learn to step through it and why don't you just walk out? What's wrong with you? And I think that is what it felt like to this person. But family members may display a dismissiveness towards mental health concerns because they don't understand them. Imagine you knew somebody who didn't think that broken legs were a real thing, right? They just want you to get up and walk on it. You may have to explain to that person what it's like to have a broken leg, the stabbing pain, the sheer inability to put weight on it and to walk on it. You can explain the situation and they may or may not get it, but it doesn't change what's going on with you. But the fact is, most of us are pretty understanding when it comes to a broken leg. We get it. We see what that is. But the brain is far more complex. And because it's far more complex, people don't take the time to understand it even on a surface level. For whatever reason, this body part, if that gets busted, we have all sorts of compassion. But this right here, we just assume should hum along without incident. And if it doesn't, it's an issue of willpower and personal weakness. That's bull. Now, mental health concerns are far more socially accepted as society as a whole becomes more educated. Older generations are more likely to be dismissive or downplay this. It reminds me when someone says, stop crying, stop being such a baby.
Stop crying. Stop crying.
Now, you may feel like after hearing that there's something wrong with you. And indeed, that is the message that they are sending. But what is actually going on, whether they realize it or not, is they don't know how to handle it. They don't know what to do with it. It makes them uncomfortable and they just want it to go away. It's similar with mental health concerns. They don't understand it. It makes them uncomfortable. They just want it to go away so that they can feel comfortable again. And so they're laying it on you. So what can you do to help someone like that get it? Show them our videos, honestly, to start. Explain it in a way that they will understand. The crying example or the broken leg example. Say something like, I understand I'm going through something that you don't fully understand. I could use your help and support. And this is what that looks like, helping me and supporting me. Now, some people will be open. The light bulb will go on. Some people want it to go away because they don't know how to help. And if you say, here's how you can help me, they'll be happy to do it because they want to be there for you. They just didn't understand how. Other people, you can give them the leg example or the tears example, and the light bulb's not going to go off. So what do you do in cases like that? Well, you have been vulnerable, you've tested the waters, and it was not rewarded. They have shown that they're not safe to share this part of your experience with. So it's okay to separate them from this area of your life. You can still have connections in other ways, but you don't need to rely on them for this. You also don't need to put any stock in their inexperienced, uneducated opinion, because their lack of empathy or understanding is not your responsibility. And if they're a therapist and they're not showing empathy and understanding, if they're a therapist and they're wanting you just to move on from this, it's all in your head, so just let it go, that speaks to somebody who's not qualified to help you. And you are well within your rights to find somebody who can, somebody who's a fit. Now, to give you some contrast, I want to show you what empathy and understanding of mental health struggles looks like. This is from the movie A Beautiful Mind. Alicia Nash, her husband, struggles with schizophrenia. And he tells her that she should leave him because he's going to be a danger to himself and to her. He tells her that he wants her to be happy without him. And things have been so strained that she leaves, but then she comes back. He doesn't know what's real because of his psychosis, what's real and what's in his head.
You wanna know what's real? This. This. This is real. Maybe the part that knows the waking from the dream. Maybe it isn't here. Maybe it's here. I need to believe that something extraordinary is possible.
Instead of judging him, instead of rejecting him, she helps him latch on to what's real, and she treats him with tenderness and with kindness. Surround yourself with those people. The people who can't do that for you, I'm not saying they don't belong in your life. I'm saying you need to determine what the safe level of having them in your life is. And in some cases, they don't belong in your life. In other cases, if they can't understand where you're coming from, what your mental health struggles are, and they're not willing to hear you when you try to educate them, it is not your job to fix them. It is your job to look after yourself and to find those people who will be there for you. Similar not great advice given by a therapist, you just need to get past it. They said, you just need to get past it. What is... Thanks a lot. That's why I'm in therapy. Could you help me? Or could you just tell me what I need? Can you imagine going to a restaurant and ordering food and they're like, yeah, you just need to get some food in you. You're cranky. And you're like, yes, that's why I'm here. And they're like, well, good luck with that. That's what this therapists are doing. What crappy advice have you received from a therapist? Let us know in the comments below. If you would like to meet with a qualified counselor who will treat you well and be there for you, go to mendedlight.com, schedule a complimentary 15-minute consultation with a member of our team today. Until next time, folks, keep shining. We need your light.